What's up YouTube? It's JB Tech Fanatic and I'm back again with another video. As always, I want to start this video by thanking each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I would be absolutely honored if you have not yet subscribed, if you would consider doing so. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to be notified when the latest videos drop, don't forget to click the notification bell. Today, guys, we are here with the Honeywell Smart Thermostat. As you know, I've been talking a lot about the smart home, and we've been talking about products in the home that you can connect to Wi-Fi, and of course, as you know if you watch my channel, Samsung Smart Things. Now, this is actually can do either. It is an extremely useful device. There is a lot of competition out there, Nest being one of them. And I kind of want to talk about this particular product before we get into. I'm going to unbox it. We'll check out everything you get. I'll show you how to install it, and I will, of course, show you how to hook it up to the app so you can actually do so at home if you have a difficult time. But a little bit about why I believe that these are actually one of the most useful smart enabled devices in the home. I actually did not have a Wi-Fi thermostat until about a year and a half ago. In my house, I have two AC units and they went out. So, of course, I had to go through that and buy two new AC units, which were not fun because if you've ever had to do so, they're about the price of a car, so of course that's not fun. But they went ahead and put two Honeywell Wi-Fi thermostats in. Now, I still have those up. We'll take a look at those when we install. But they were actually just a basic white, no touchscreen, you know, nothing fancy, but they had all the ability of Wi-Fi. They run about $100 and they actually work really well. This kind of product, I think it's a little more fancy, which I like. I like the fact that you get a touch screen and then it has color to it. But as far as the features go, they're the same. So what makes this so useful? Take into consideration you're in bed at nighttime and it's really cold in your house. You could just reach over, grab your phone, turn up the AC, shut off the AC, turn on the heater, whatever it might be, whether you're hot or cold, you don't have to get out of bed. Or maybe you like to bump up your AC a little bit to save some money when you go to work or you leave town. Then on your way home, you can actually turn it on and, you know, cool down your house, or vice versa, heat your house up before you come home. These are things that actually become extremely useful. And, you know, there's a lot of thermostats out there that have been out for a long time that you can program, you know, on this day to do that and this day to do that. But these don't need to do that. And what ends up happening is they get smarter as you use them. So they start to notice your habits and they work with you. Meaning, if every day at 5 o'clock you turn your AC up, it starts to realize you're doing that and it adjusts your house to your comfort level. And what happens is you find yourself needing to touch this less. Now, that's great. In addition to that, I love Samsung Smart Things. You got your whole house running on it. You go ahead, you throw these on there, and you can actually set, you know, different, what are they called? Almost like an environment. Like if you have movie night and you like your movie night to be nice and warm and cozy and you want your TV to turn on and your heater to turn on, you can go ahead and set all of that up with the Samsung Smart Things app and it'll do it all for you with a simple push of a button. I really, really like this company, Honeywell. Now, but there are so many different competitors. Obviously, Nest is a huge competitor, also a great product. This is more, you know, Honeywell's been around forever. I like it. I believe you'll like it. We're going to go ahead and look at it and we'll check that out. But the last thing I want to say is that I think this year, this actually is much more affordable than the last year's touchscreen model. So the prices kind of came down. I've noticed on Amazon it gets as low as about 138 bucks, you know, and then it can go up to 200, maybe a little bit over. So if you do your homework, you could probably get a fairly good deal on this. You know, if you have two ACs like I do, you know, maybe you have one upstairs that no one sees and you don't care. We'll look at the model that I have on there now. That's a great option. It's a little bit cheaper. You could put that on the upstairs, and then maybe, you know, if you want something a little more fancy, or someone to see something cool, you know, if you're really techie like me, you could just put this downstairs where everyone sees. And lastly, there is I really didn't realize this, but there's programs that the electric companies actually offer with some of these big companies. Now, Honeywell being one of them, I found that our local electric company actually offers you $75 discount off of your bill, I believe yearly, and then an initial up to $150 immediate credit for doing so. And why they do that is because you can sign up for a program where they help monitor your usage. So, you know, depending on where you live, they do different things, like if you prepay, you can get a deal, or if you shut off your electricity, you know, between peak time, it's cheaper. They can actually almost modify it for you, so you don't have to worry about that, and then you just automatically save money, and you can opt out of that at any time. So that's another huge benefit. And really, guys, if you do that, this is free. I mean, it basically pays for itself. Another thing that I noticed, again, I'm going off the Honeywell that I'm using now, is that it's a good quality product. I've had zero issues. Now, the next thing, I think a lot of people want these, but you know, sometimes we're afraid that maybe it's too difficult to install. We don't know what to do. The wiring's kind of weird. I'm going to show you how to install this, but bear in mind that these are actually extremely easy to install. What you need to have, obviously, is internet and Wi-Fi. And your Wi-Fi has to be, you know, depending on how far away this is going to be from your router, you want to make sure it's got a pretty strong signal. But as far as bandwidth goes, you don't need a really powerful router to control this, because it's not going to take a lot of your bandwidth away. So guys, I'm excited about this. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Let's go ahead and unbox this product. Check it out. I can't wait to do it. Thanks for being here. All right, so we got model number RTH9585WF, control from anywhere, automatic energy savings, intelligent alerts for extreme high or low indoor temps and humidity, and it will also let you know when your filter needs to be changed. And then of course you can set the color. On the side of the box here, as you can see, it is compatible with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. And SmartThings is kind of blurry. Can't really get it there. But anyway, with SmartThings also. And flip on over to the back. Briefly look at this. It says it's a simple setup. Advanced fan operation, you know, so you can get better circulation for your house. Smart response learning, kind of what I talked about earlier. And then auto change from heat to cool. This will determine, you know, basically if you don't want your house any colder than 65, then the heater will turn on. And if you don't want, you know, your house any hotter than, let's just say 80, then of course your AC will turn on. It's a very secure network. Honeywell does have a great network. And then basically it shows some photos of the app, but we'll look at that. And then lastly here, control from anywhere, and then we already know about this stuff here. So it did have a little plastic wrap on there. I ripped that off already. Just a couple little tabs to cut open. Let's get these cut open. Slide it out. Thank you for relying on Honeywell in your home. How nice of you guys. All right, so it just kind of opens like a book. And there it is. Actually, pretty nice presentation. As you can see, it has a nice border around it. It's not too thick. You know, when it's sitting on the wall, you shouldn't notice that. I do like how they have this nice outline here. The touchscreen, you know, it's not too big and bulky and gaudy. It's pretty lightweight, but definitely I think it looks a lot more fancy than the basic version that I have on there right now. Now, guys, the stuff in this box, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. First off, again, we're going to talk about installing it, but this is crucial. This should make everything much more easier for you to install with your existing home wiring. Of course, they're going to give you some warnings about that, but here's some screws that you're going to need to put it in the wall. But there is 2 cards in here for my security. I won't show you what's on them, but basically there is 2 numbers on these cards, and it is crucial that you do not lose these cards because they have the MAC ID and then the CRC number. Now you're going to need these 2 numbers on these cards here to be able to put these on the network. So on this red card here, you will find those. Don't lose those. Put those aside safely. They give you a little wire there. Keep that with the installation. And then they give you a ton of books. Now, kind of makes it look overwhelming, and I talked about how it really wasn't that difficult when you see all these books. Now, first off, it looks like we just have several languages, so that's fine. And then you got the quick start guide here. The quick start guide is going to basically tell you how to install it and connect it to the Wi-Fi network. Now, guys, I just want to make this very clear. I'll show you how to install this in my home, but you know, I can't make any guarantee that you have the same setup as I do. Definitely, you know, check out these manuals. If you cannot figure it out on your own, I recommend hiring a professional to do so, or maybe contacting Honeywell and they can lead you through it. But they do include this, and this quick start guide, as well as one of these big fat books here, should get you pointed in the right direction. But that's really it, guys. That's everything in the box. Let's jump to the next. All right, so as you can see in front of you, I got my old unit. Excuse all these nails here. Typically we have photos hanging around. I had to take them down. Don't tell my wife. I'll put them back in place so she doesn't notice. Next thing, do not forget to shut the breaker off to your AC units and also to your home. This is for 2 reasons. One, you don't want to electrocute yourself when you're touching the wires here. In addition to that, you don't want to damage your equipment outside. So to be safe, shut everything off. The next thing is that always take a photo of the work you're doing. This way you don't get confused when you're hooking it up. Now with this one here, if you just pull, it's going to come off, I think. And as you can see, we have the wiring right there. Now the wires, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hooked up. This again is for my bottom stairs AC unit. So this is for 1 unit. It is a Train 2017 model. So, you know, depending on what kind of unit you have, this is where I say that it might vary from mine. But basically, guys, what you want to do is you want to pay close attention. Hopefully the one that you have in your house now will have some lettering. Now, those letters are what you want to make sure to line up with the new system into the same place. Now, they gave you inside of the box, if you could see these, I know it's not zooming in well, these are little stickers for lettering. Now, if you just take a photo, it's a little easier, but you could take these stickers, match the letters, and then put them on each wire. That way you know what you're connecting. Next, all we're going to do is we're going to take the drill, and I'm going to unscrew these 2 screws. And then, of course, as I said in the box before, we are going to replace this mount with this mount. So it should be very, very easy. We're going to take, it's nice and lettered, if we can get it to zoom. So I'm just going to match up these letters and we're going to put it here. And this is going to screw right down nicely. And then after that, we can turn it on and get it all set up on the app and all the fun stuff. Let's do it. Okay, screws are out. Next, you want a really small flathead screwdriver. And you just slightly need to turn these just a little bit to loosen them so that we can pull the wires out. Got them all loose, pulling them out. Then we'll have this nice, ugly, exposed wall. So keep these wires nice and separate. Also, if you need to extend these, you can always get some wire cutters and just kind of splice off here so you can have a little bit more room to work with. But this is going to be real simple. These are literally going to plug right into these little holes, and we're going to screw that right back on. Simple. So pulled the wires through, and basically we're going to screw it back down. Now, if this is, a different size, or if you had a round one and, now it's changing, or whatever it might be, you want it to be even. So basically on top here, you could see it says level here. What you'll do is you'll just stick the level right on top, make sure that it's nice and level before adding the screws. Now in my case, it looks like it's going to line up almost perfect, so I'm not going to do that, but I would recommend doing so. Otherwise, you might have it twisted like this or something when you mount it. Now we're going to take each of these wires. Like I said before, we took a photo, or you put the little stickers on. Now each of these have the letters right here, and then the plugs are on this side. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to stick these in the little holes they go in, and we'll go from there. Just a quick note, you don't want to screw this down until you get each of these wires in their slots. Otherwise, it's going to be harder for you to move it around. This way you have a little bit of room to work with. But basically, they just simply slide right in and lock, and that's it. Now, guys, remember, you do not want to remove this jumper loop here unless you need these terminals. I know it looks like something you want to just pull out and unplug. Don't touch it unless you need to use it. Okay, so everything should be nice and tight in there. You should not see a lot of wiring. On this green one here, it's really long, but basically you want to just push and see how it goes all the way in. There's nothing left on any of them because you could just push it in and then it will lock. And then if you need to release, you got a little release lever here. In addition to that, make sure that the wiring that's in the wall, push that back in so you can get a nice flush surface. So what you would do is just push in. But before we do that, so again, this is a newer AC unit. It has a heat pump and then electric cooling. And if you guys want to know, I can't guarantee again that this is exactly how yours is, but basically I had the green in G, and then we have the white in the OB. We have blue in C, yellow in Y, and the red is in R. So be careful to not accidentally put it into the RC. And another thing that's a little tricky if you are switching from the older model is that it kind of flips wires to both sides instead of having them all nice and flush. So taking the wires out and bending them the right way and then pushing back in will give you a little bit, but there should be some room in your wall. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push this back in, and then we're going to just add 2 screws, and then we're done with this portion. All right, so we're done, nice and flush and level. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to pop this right on, but I'm going to go ahead and turn on all the power first. Okay, power is on. Now, this should be really easy to just snap on. That easy. Now this is going to go through its boot screen here. And then after that, it should lead you through. All right, so let's do the setup. So basically, I speak English, so we'll pick English. This is for my home. Gonna call it downstairs. You could change that to whatever by touching it and typing. It has heating and cooling. Next, I have a forced air system. Pick what you have at home. It is electric. It also can do gas. Now, right here, this is where it's great to have those photos, but basically, yes, we have the Y. Yes, and it's just the W. And it does control the fan, so we're good there. So this is pretty smart, and that's it. Now we can go back to home, and when we push down here, it'll turn on. I'm going to wait a second to do that. I want to show you guys in settings. If you would like, you can do everything on the unit itself, meaning you don't necessarily have to have Wi-Fi, and you don't have to do anything, special. If you just want this because it looks nice for your home, no problem. You can change your colors. You could set your vacation mode. You can, go ahead and make schedules. You could check your equipment. It has this little option for cleaning the screen, and basically what it does is make it where the screen doesn't work so you can wipe it down without hitting a bunch of buttons. Wi-Fi setup, if you didn't do that in the beginning, you can do that now just by hitting there and connecting it to your 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And then you can even redo system setup. So if you get a new AC and maybe it's a different kind, you could do what we just did over again there. Now, biggest test, let's go ahead and turn this down. We'll go ahead and put it to 80. We'll hit done, and let's see if it turns on. Now guys, make sure that you turn on all the breakers, meaning don't forget to turn on your blower breaker and the main component breaker, and also this one, depending on what you shut off. You don't want your AC running and thinking that, it's broken because the main unit, the compressor, won't turn on. So just go ahead and make sure everything is done. And then this is kicking on just perfectly. And so let's go ahead and register online. Now, guys, I'm not going to show this, but going back to what we were talking about, as soon as you press this, it's going to give you a code, and it's going to give you all the information that's needed to go online. So go ahead and hit that, get that code, and we'll go to the next step. Real quickly, guys, I almost forgot to make sure that you are connected to Wi-Fi. To do that, guys, again, when you plug this in right away, it initially shows you. For my protection, I didn't show you that part. However, you just hit Wi-Fi setup. You're going to see your 2.4 gigahertz network. Touch it, put in the password, then you're connected. When you're done with that, then you're going to go ahead. We're going to hit that as I said before, and then the next screen gives you the code. Now that you have your code, what we're going to need is you're going to need either your phone or a desktop computer or something that actually has a internet browser. Pull up your web browser, and I'm going to show you guys some photos up on the screen, but basically in the web browser, type in Honeywell Thermostat login. Once you do that, go ahead and click on the Honeywell My Total Comfort. Sorry, I can't talk. When you are there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on add your location. So go ahead and add a location, put in your address and everything like that. And then when you're done with that, you are going to hit add item. Now, when you hit add item, that's when all these photos we've taken are going to come into handy for you. Now, when you do so, you're going to go ahead and input it. You're going to put the MAC address and the other numbers, and I'm going to show you a photo here. Once you do that, it's going to go through a verification process, and it's actually going to tell you to change your thermostat to 84. Go ahead, change your thermostat to 84, click the checkbox, hit submit, and then you're going to go through a registration process. Once that is complete, then you are going to have now full control of your thermostat. And here's a photo of what it looks like. Okay, next, real quickly, let's back out of this a little bit, is voice support. Amazon Alexa and Google are very popular because we all want to tell, our thermostat to turn on by voice.
that is very easy to do. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to go ahead and go into your Google Home app. And when you're in your Home app, in the top left-hand corner, hit the 3 lines, go down to Home Control. On Home Control, you'll see a blue X. Go ahead and press that blue X. As you can see here, I already have the Honeywell. Now, link accounts or add new, you are going to go to the Honeywell Total Connect. Go ahead and add the account. It's going to ask you to verify. It's going to ask, do you give a permission? You have to hit yes for this to work. Once that's complete, guys, you're done. Go ahead and save it. Now you're able to control with voice. That simple. In addition to that, anything that you have connected to your thermostat, whether it be Google or Amazon or SmartThings, you're going to be able to see now when you are in the Honeywell browser and you go to the device, you will be able to see any accounts that are connected to it. Meaning, if you want to disconnect this at any point, it's really simply done actually through the Honeywell app. Also, the next thing that you have is the actual app itself. You do not have to go through the web browser anymore. So go ahead and download the app, the Honeywell app. When you do so, hopefully you remembered the login and everything that you signed up with. Go ahead and put that in, save it to your phone, and now you have the app. So if you use nothing else, no voice support, and you just want to be able to use the app and turn on your AC and see what's going on, download the app. You'll be able to do all of that from the app, and the app itself has some voice support that you can use in the app. And guys, that is it. Now we're all set up. It's beautiful. I like it. Definitely nicer than the one I had before.
Well, that sums up the Honeywell Wi-Fi thermostat. I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for watching my video. Guys, it is a cruel, harsh, and evil world out there. Do me a favor. Love your family. Love your neighbors. Do something nice for someone today. Change someone's day by going out, doing something out of the ordinary. Make someone smile. Make someone's day. Take time. Love your family. Spend time with your kids, your mom, your dad. Each day is a gift. I'm so thankful that you're here. If you enjoyed this content, I got tons of other content on my channel. I would be absolutely honored if you check it out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I got great, awesome, hot new content coming soon. I can't wait to do that. If you guys have any questions about the product I talked about today or anything tech, if I can help you, I will do so. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at JB Tech Fanatic. Of course, reach me in the comments section at any time. I try to answer everyone. If I can help you, I will do my best. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to talk to you in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video.